From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We're watching for a few showers pushing in from the southwest so far today, but we've got to watch out for some stronger thunderstorms later this evening. In fact, there is quite a bit of severe weather moving through central sections of Illinois that will move in our direction, but should weaken as it does so. So in terms of risk, you see we go from a level 2 to a level 1 risk, meaning storms weakening as they move in, but some gusty winds will be possible. We'll talk more about the severe weather potential coming up. Temperatures currently 67 Lansing, 66 in Jackson. Forecast for tonight, showers and storms this evening. By tomorrow morning, a rain-snow mix in the area as colder weather moves in. 6 News at 5 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5.
Everything is on track. Those are the words spoken by President Trump to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on the phone today. It is our top story today at 5. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. It comes after a limited ceasefire was reached yesterday during a lengthy phone call between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Erica Brown is here for you with the latest from Washington.
Sirens wailed over the skyline in Kyiv as Russian strikes on the Ukrainian capital continued. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky asked President Trump for help stopping the attacks during a 1-hour phone call Wednesday morning.
President Zelensky asked for additional air defense systems to protect his civilians, particularly Patriot missile systems, and President Trump agreed to work with him to find what was available, particularly in Europe.
Trump and Zelensky discussed the possibility of a full ceasefire, and they agreed to send technical teams to Saudi Arabia next week to work on the details of a potential truce.
That full-on ceasefire has a lot to do with this 2,000-kilometer line that where the Ukrainians are lined up against the Russians. It's complicated. There are different battlefield conditions in various spots. That's for the technical teams to figure it out.
Russia and Ukraine accused each other of breaking the terms of the partial ceasefire, but they both followed through with a prisoner exchange involving 175 soldiers from each side. A federal judge has now given the Trump administration until Thursday to explain why they allegedly ignored a judge's ruling to turn around flights deporting Venezuelan migrants to a prison in El Salvador.
The judge in this case is essentially trying to say that the president doesn't have the executive authority to deport foreign terrorists from our American soil.
Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act, a wartime law allowing the deportations of people from an enemy nation without due process protections. The administration claims, without offering evidence, that the migrants on the flight were gang members and terrorists. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Another issue causing controversy in Washington is the continued Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, layoffs. Some federal workers received good news recently, as many of them were reinstated, but for how long? Zach Priest is here for you now with a look at what's next for some Michiganders who are left in limbo. Zach?
Thanks. It's been a roller coaster for federal workers over the last month and a half, but they recently received some good news via a federal court order.
Not just get reinstated though, but being told you're still on administrative leave is, I want to go to work.
Last week, federal judges in both Maryland and California ordered the Trump administration to reinstate the probationary workers they had previously laid off over the last 2 months. But it's not that simple.
I hopeful, but holding my breath.
That was Hayden Guild's reaction to the news Monday that he'd be getting his job back. He's a formerly laid off, now reinstated IRS worker from Grand Rapids. But the Trump administration is appealing the ruling, and even if the appeal is unsuccessful, Guild is worried about the future.
I'm concerned that even if I am reinstated permanently, that I'll be terminated under a reduction in force in the coming weeks or months.
Guild has been placed on administrative leave and says he should soon be receiving back pay, but in the meantime, he's exploring other options. The same uncertainty is affecting the nearly 25,000 probationary workers who were reinstated. Andrew Lennox, a 10-year Marine veteran who was recently reinstated at the Ann Arbor VA, says his reinstatement has given him hope.
So it did give me some faith in, the justice system is still out there and there is still some checks and balances where, people have to follow the law. So
both Guild and Lennox noted the financial burden all this job uncertainty is placing on people. Regardless of uncertainty, though, Lennox says he'll be caring for vets at the VA until he's forced out. And an appeals court already denied a request by the Trump administration to immediately reverse the reinstatement of those workers. But the administration is continuing to pursue the case in court, and we'll make sure to keep you updated with the latest developments on air and online at WLNS.com.
Well, the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, known as MDARD, says the state's agricultural-related exports set a new record in 2024, reaching nearly $3 billion. The new benchmark was released to coincide with National Agriculture Trade Day and represents a more than $282 million increase from 2023. The top 5 export markets for Michigan's ag-related products in 2024 were Canada, Mexico, South Korea, Japan, and China. Some of the exports include sugar beets, soybeans, dairy, and wood.
With so much uncertainty that we have around tariffs right now, these numbers really do underscore the value of the economic prosperity that the Michigan's food and ag sector brings to the state, and shows with the right levels of support, a level playing field here, that there's tremendous opportunity for our food and ag sector.
Experts say that Michigan is the most agriculturally diverse state with access to 20% of the world's fresh water. Well, the NCAA tournament begins tomorrow. The University of Michigan will be playing UC San Diego tomorrow night in Denver, Colorado. The fans are getting ready for the big dance, and that's where we find Bruce Hertel. He joins us now live from Denver. How's it going out there, Bruce?
It's going well. Always a level of excitement and anticipation as we get ready to tip the ball off tomorrow and chase the dreams that all 68 teams at least start with in this tournament. Now, we're about 30 minutes away from hearing from the Michigan Wolverines for the first time here in Denver, about an hour or so for their 40-minute practice that they will have on the floor behind me here at Ball Arena. Michigan is in their 32nd dance. 3 straight wins at the Big Ten tournament has given them some momentum. That after 3 straight losses finished their regular season, so it'll be interesting to see how they come ready to play tomorrow. The Tritons in their first NCAA tournament, an interesting story. They turned Division I in 2020, spent the last 4 years in a probationary period before qualifying for the NCAA tournament in their first season of eligibility to do so. They're 30-4 out of the Big West. They're good defensively. They play a matchup zone. Their best win this season, however, on the road against Utah State. Just one other note to think about, and it has to do with altitude. Remember, we are in Denver, Colorado, at the base of the Rocky Mountains. We are also at 5,200 plus feet above sea level. UC San Diego plays at sea level. Michigan in Ann Arbor, 849 feet above sea level. Shortness of breath and thin air will be a factor as these games start to tip off tomorrow. In Denver, I'm Bruce Hertel.
All right, thank you, Bruce. And as you just heard, March Madness is gripping mid-Michigan. And to get ready, be sure to tune in to our March to Glory special. It runs tonight at 7 p.m. on WLNS and then on Thursday at 9 a.m. on WLAJ.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We're watching for a few stronger showers and thunderstorms this evening, but so far there's just no instability out there. So as we check out Live Storm Tracker 6 Doppler radar, just a few rain showers trying to push in from the west. Nothing even close to thunderstorm status so far this afternoon. As we zoom out a bit, there's the severe weather outlook, and there's a level 3 risk just southwest of Chicago. Already several tornado warnings in that area. But as these storms shift north and east, they should begin to weaken. Tornado probability highest southwest of Chicago, significant risk there. And there's a non-zero risk. Even though those storms are weakening, they may still rotate a bit in the southwestern corner of the state. Large hail, we'll keep an eye on that. For us, though, it's probably gusty winds will be our biggest threat if we do see anything on the strong side this evening. Our overall severe weather risks here, tornado threat low, a little elevated for hail and wind, and flooding threat is low. So not a major event the way it looks right now, but it is worth watching because there's a lot of wind above the surface. So if we can get some instability, then we could deal with some severe weather. So we move through the evening hours on Precision Cast. From now through 11 o'clock is our best chance of showers and thunderstorms and or some severe weather. It's out of here by around midnight, and tomorrow morning, get ready for the transition. We go into the mid-30s and rain will change to snow, at least briefly, before it moves out and sunshine reappears Thursday afternoon. Thursday night into Friday, quiet weather to start the day. We'll see a few more clouds increasing by Friday afternoon, and this little system will swing overhead Friday night, give us a few showers, maybe a snowflake or two, but I think it's going to be out of here by sunrise on Saturday, so I've kept the forecast dry for Saturday and probably most of Sunday as well. Precision Cast wind gusts, we're still anticipating with this front moving through. Winds 15 to 25 tomorrow morning, gusting 30 to 40 through the early afternoon with temperatures in the 30s, so it's going to feel very cold out there. But then as we head into tomorrow evening, those winds get a lot lighter by around 10 or 11 o'clock. Skyview Network McLaren cam temperature is warm, 68 degrees, high today 71, which means we've already fallen a couple degrees, so that lessens the instability. 68 currently in Grand Ledge with cloudy skies. Current temperature in Jackson also on the warm side at 66 degrees after a high today of 69. Here's the view in Hillsdale with cloud cover rolling in. If we're going to see severe weather, this will be one of the areas we'll keep an eye on. A little more instability likely in Hillsdale this evening. Temperatures at 65 now, however, after a high today of 69. A few other numbers around the viewing area. 69 in St. John's, Hastings, east towards Howell, all in the mid to the upper 60s. And it feels quite warm out there and a little humid. The dew points are up today at least a bit. Tonight, 35, the overnight low, evening showers and storms, and then by tomorrow morning, some snow may mix in. It should move out pretty quickly, though, so by the afternoon, we're still in the mid to the upper 30s. We're not really going to warm a whole lot tomorrow. But the 6-day forecast shows slightly warmer weather over the weekend. 50s on the way for Friday as we head into Saturday and Sunday, highs in the low 40s. Sunday evening into Monday, a rain-snow mixture possible, still cold, highs near 40. Most of next week, highs in the 40s. Next Friday's system looks like it's going to be more so on Saturday, so a rain-snow mix possible there. And then by that following Monday, then we can crack the 50-degree mark again. But no 60s or 70s once we get past today.
But today, I know, it was very nice for middle of March.
Oh, I know. It felt great outside in the sunshine earlier.
Oh, so nice.
Even with the clouds, it's still nice.
It still is. Thanks, David.